Hi there, and welcome to Celeb Hut. You all not Jay Z's mysterious child uncovering Beyoncé for attempting to unalive him whatnot sovereign B. Well, Jay Z's supposed mystery child, Rymir Seder White, has been attempting to get Jay Z to recognize him for over 10 years now, and he is presently guaranteeing that Beyoncé is the explanation that Jay Z has been declining to recognize him. However, Rymir is all set the whole way there with Beyonce and Jay Z, since he carried a receipts to uncover Beyoncé of purportedly sending hired gunmen after him to unalive him, since she is supposedly panicked that Rymir will come after Jay Z's billions. You all come on in the room and plunk down, cuz we must separate this show since there is such a lot of craziness continuing right now. The Beyoncé thing came when a companion of mine who knew her, someone in her camp, and she said something evidently this is all prattle okay about with respect to saying Rymir needs to disappear, young man, something along those lines. It was an out thing there. Now, on the off chance that you haven't heard the most recent tea about Rymir and the Carters, let me spill the C word on the roads, is that Beyoncé doesn't need Jay Z to recognize Rymir, since it will make things chaotic, particularly with regards to the legacy now for the people who haven't been following the story. Rymir claims that Jay Z attached with his mother, Wanda, thinking back to the 90s. Despite the fact that they utilized assurance purportedly, it fizzled, and she got pregnant with Rymir anyway. She was unable to contact Jay Z at the time since they moved away from one another. Well, when Wanda brought forth Rymir, her sweetheart, at the time marked the birth endorsement, and as indicated by an insider, her on and off again, but at the time Robert realized the child wasn't his yet, put his name on the birth endorsement. While Wanda was oblivious, recuperating from the birth at first, he felt frustrated about Wanda. However, later he utilized it so he could gather additional food stamps and benefit. Both were excavators at that point, so he shouldn't have marked anything now. Ramirez spill a Morty guaranteeing that his mother Wanda let him know when he was 8 years of age that Jay Z was his genuine father. Had Wanda purportedly attempted each stunt in the book to reach out to Jay Z, trusting he'd move forward and assume liability, yet he recently continued to obstruct her by legal counselors and marketing specialists. Yet my young lady Wanda was a contender, and she didn't surrender. She chose to go the legitimate course, indicting Jay Z to lawfully decide whether he was R's organic dad. Tragically, the case got thrown out in light of the fact that the appointed authority guaranteed that the court didn't have purview. Well, unfortunately, Wanda died not long later. However, before she did, she marked a sworn testimony proclaiming that Shay Carter, also known as Jay Z H to the ISO V to the I, was without a doubt Smash's dad. Now you feel that that would be sufficient to get Jay Z to move forward. Right, yet he didn't. He did nothing. Rymir then chose to take matters into his own hands with the assistance of his watchman, Lily Demure. They documented a common claim in December 2014, uncovering that they've been attempting to have Jay Z take a DNA test, and right now the show had been happening for a really long time. Well, Jay Z continued to demand that he wasn't the dad and obstructing every one of these tests, yet, for reasons unknown, he would not step through the exam. You imagine that Jay Z would just step through the exam and get it over with, right? Well, this claim has been hauling for a considerable length of time, or 14. In the event that you can't need this claim yet, Jay Z is declining, and that is most certainly Sue's. Rymir clearly was annoyed about the circumstance, and he consented to do a plunk-down interview with the child online, where he denied designations that he was after Jay Z's cash, saying, "I don't need cash or any such thing from Jay's. I simply maintain that he should at long last come clean to the world. He should be a positive, good example for our local area." He remains there shouting, "People of color matter. Well, come clean and assume liability, and on the off chance that you say I'm not your child and nothing at any point occurred with my mother, then step through the exam. In the event that you're coming clean, for what reason is your most memorable response at the point when you're approached to take a paternity test?" No, well, as watchman Lily likewise talked, and we at last figured out something exceptionally fascinating, intriguing about the circumstance. Supposedly Jay Z had thumped Wanda up when she was just 16. Yet he was 22, better believe it, that math is beginning of math, and Lily said Wanda was just 16 when she supposedly met Sean, yet Chet might have let him know she was more seasoned. She felt pregnant, yet had no clue about how to reach him now. To be fair, Lily spilled that Wanda told Jay's she was 18, so he knew practically nothing about her genuine age. Except for, despite the fact that it wasn't actually his issue, he may as yet land him in a tough situation with the law. Well, fans have been citing this entire circumstance for a really long time, since he appears to continuously pursue young ladies before they're legitimate, like Beyonce, Aliyah, charming, earthy colored. He has a remarkable history. So in the event that individuals figured out that he had got Wanda pregnant when she was 16, it would have exacerbated him. However, Lily trusts that the age factor is a main motivation behind why Jay Z would have rather not recognized Rymir. When she and Rymir first contacted Jay Z's legal counselors to settle things unobtrusively, they were shocked, laying anxious to keep it private and settle in the background. She even guaranteed they deal to sign Rymir to Jay Z's mark, yet she turned them down. She said, "I got a call from his in-house legal counselor, and they were extremely useful, and we figured we would determine this secretly." They even discussed Rymir ability and whether it was a great chance to put him on his record mark. However, he needed to complete secondary school. So I said no. Unexpectedly, various legal advisors reached out, and their demeanor totally transformed. I think they understood that there was more in question for Sean, given that Wanda was purportedly underage. Well, as of now, things began going left for Rymir, and he pins everything on Jay Z and Beyoncé. Rymir and Lily asserted that Jay Z's attorneys were playing messy and had supposedly pay off Rymir legal advisors to tank the case. As indicated by reports, Lily sent off a fight in court against their own legal advisors, blaming him for plotting with the rapper's lawful group to assist him with escaping. Stepping through the examination, she guaranteed that they covertly intrigued with the legal advisors for Jay Z, causing strategy issues that made the case be tossed out of Philadelphia court. Well, this isn't exceptionally shocking in light of the fact that going by what Jay Z furthermore, Beyoncé been blamed for throughout the long term, this doesn't appear to be amazing on the grounds that it seems like something they would do. However, at that point, Rymir is really intense, and he didn't let that stop him. He documented a movement in the High Court mentioning that long periods of reports tracing all the way back to 2012 be delivered, guaranteeing that keeping the record fixed kept them from getting equity. The preeminent court dismissed his movement, expressing it did and have the ward to return matters in the requests court or to unlock records in the preliminary court. Rymir then documented a movement with the allure at division, which was additionally denied. It's not shocking that Rymir was getting baffled on the grounds that I'm getting disappointed. For his sake, I'm not pointing no fingers. I'm simply inquiring every one of the appointed authorities or anyone who's dealing with the situation to make the right decision and go about their business the right way, even regardless of whether you neglected something or didn't see something. Everyone makes botches. As I said previously, however, now is the right time to really go about your business and take a gander at all that and get it right, because you realize you can't utilize extortion to continue anything in this world. You can't utilize misrepresentation to assist you with getting forward in life. Then attempt to progress forward with your extortion. And many individuals have been guarding the Carters, discussing how they didn't have a clue about the degree of the case on the grounds that the legal counselors and marketing specialist safeguarded them. Yet, let me stop you there, on the grounds that in addition to the fact that Beyoncé and Jay Z knew each and every insight regarding what is happening, yet they even concealed Rymir in their tune "Found Out About Us." They blamed Rymir for pursuing clout and said Billy CH thriving. However, the 1,000th time the young star wouldn't fret online. "They call me father," kiddingly. You shouldn't take this father thing in a real sense. We don't for even a moment truly do popular. I'm cool on that check. The device fingers each time I'm getting sued. I ought to make an appearance to court without a sue. Each move is on the news and it has his advantages. Also stand by it. Well, Rymir CLA back in his very own track, where he said N just cleaned up, as yet doing tracks like 55, where the FU at need to return to your days of yore. Developed man in his former ways. Well, he later uncovered the thinking behind this tune in a meeting, where he said, "This isn't me being trivial or attempting to begin a fight or any such thing. I need to put my melody out there to tell the world I'm actually going up, paying a little mind to what anybody says. And Jay's, I'm coming for the music business." On the off chance that he said he's not my father multiple times, wouldn't it be simpler to step through the exam? This has gone past a paternity test prep. Sently, it's about more than that. Well, his marketing specialist likewise said if Jay Z has put his sentiments out there and caught wind of us, so Rymir ought to communicate his sentiments through his music. To Jay Z is saying he has denied being Ram's dad multiple times. Well, I don't have the foggiest idea who to, in light of the fact that he expressed nothing to Rymir or his family. Why is he on the run? Well, fans have blamed Rymir for being after Jay Z's cash for clear reasons. However, he's constant. Lee demanded that everything revolved around his need to finally accept reality and to be 100% sure who his father truly is. He said it got pushed aside, and essentially, now I stroll around and everybody's seeing me saying he's pursuing Jay Z needs cash. He's attempting to get his 15 minutes of popularity. This was never about cash for me. My entire thing was simply to see who my dad was. And truly, I got my own cash. I maintain two sources of income. I deal with my own business. I simply need a conclusion. Furthermore, I needed regard from the courts very much like every other person. Subscribe Celeb Hut for more videos.